Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Discovery Pod with Eve. I am Eve Richards. We've got a very exciting show today with actress, producer, jewelry designer, coach Tanya Newbould. We'll do an intro in a minute. I am joined today by my co-host, actress Melissa Neese-Smith. Before I chat with Melissa, please make sure you watch this episode on the Discovery Pod with Eve's YouTube channel, or you could listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Melissa, welcome back to another episode. Yes. I am so excited about today's episode that we're going to be hosting with actress, producer, jewelry designer Tanya Newbould. She does everything. But most importantly as well, she's got a new docu-film as well, so which we're going to be delving into in a minute. So as you know, it's the holiday season, and it's a favorite time of the year. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do Universal Studio this year.
We might. Never say never. You never. We loved Grinchmas. we have to do Grinchmas and have Frankenstein chase you around again.
My boyfriend, right?
Was at Grinchmas.
This
tells you something.
That was incredible. Everyone commented on it, including who.
Yes.
Can you say the name? Oh, you can't say the name. He's become too political right now.
Yes, a little political
so I don't
right
think
now.
We can.
No, but everybody loved the fact that Eve, let loose, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, she turned into a little girl." We had such a good time. We went on the rides. She ate chicken nuggets with me, people. Chicken nuggets with ranch and French fries. Now, if you knew this woman, that would not happen.
No, but
she was a totally different person that day.
It was amazing to flirt with Frankenstein. I think initially I was telling Melissa, Melissa, why on earth did you bring me here?
I wasn't sure, but we had to give it a shot, and look what happened. You loved it.
I loved it. It was so much fun.
She was like, I had so much fun. She laughed so much that day.
It was like relieving, but I think it's because as a kid, my parents were so I don't think I had much of a childhood because I was always reading or doing something, trying to impress my parents. So that was fun. So tell us about, what are you doing for the holidays?
For the holidays, I am hoping to go back home to Seattle. That's where I was born and raised, and that's where my husband is and my son is still. They fully support my dreams and ambitions of acting.
It's not just your dreams, but it's happening.
It is happening.
Think about last year and think about this year, what you've accomplished. And so it's not a dream. It's something that's happening, right?
Absolutely. Put it out there.
Putting it out there, of course. And you've got quite a few exciting things in 2020.
And you and I do too together.
We do have something.
I'm really excited
in Colorado in the spring of 2025. So without further ado, please go ahead and introduce.
We are so honored today to welcome a truly multifaceted guest, Tanya Newbould. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I am looking at your history and it is absolutely impeccably amazing. And the things that you do and your, story behind everything is just incredible. We're excited to have you here. I mean, you're an accomplished actress, producer. You're known for films like Skyline, The Family Man, Red Dragon, but also a transformative leader who has dedicated her life to inspiring others. With over 20 years in the entertainment industry, you have transitioned to follow your passion as a life transformating, a coach and entrepreneur, and you're also a powerful advocate for postpartum depression awareness, because that is big and something that not a lot of people talk about, which is bravo to you, because a lot of people just don't talk about that, and that does need to be brought to focus.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
So, When the Bough Breaks is a deeply personal and powerful documentary. What inspired you to co-create this film, and how has it transformed your life and mission?
Well, first of all, it's such a pleasure to meet both of you. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm very excited. I love everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
My journey really came from, I had the fortune of becoming pregnant, to have my beautiful baby, super excited. Life is going to be great. Loved my husband, all is well. And all of a sudden I have this baby, and I did not know what happened, but it was like a switch went off. I suddenly didn't feel connected to her. I suddenly was very sad, very depressed, felt isolated, started having very dark thoughts, and went through this. And at first thought, okay, I had a baby, I'm tired. That's normal. And to a certain extent, it is normal.
Yeah.
But then it carried on, and then it got worse. And then as nighttime would come, I would get horrific anxiety. And then as tired as I was, I could never sleep.
Oh, wow.
I could never sleep. And she would wake up maybe around 2 o'clock in the morning for a feeding. Every time my heart pounded like it was a 6.8 earthquake. Every time. It was like this, and I would wake up, and then trying to get back to sleep wouldn't happen. And then I would stay up during the day. So I was completely depleted, exhausted. And it started to be where I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to leave the house. I was always checking on her. Is she okay? What's wrong? And I went into such a fear around what I was experiencing. And when you're in that space, you're actually really frightened to tell anyone.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I think if I tell you, you're going to be like, oh, you're crazy. And people do tend to think that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're now not behaving like you ever have. And you become even more isolated. So with that, then I began thinking, I'm a horrible mother. I don't deserve to be a mom. I should leave. They will be better off without me. So I'm from Europe, and so I had this plan. I was going to fly to Paris, take the tube, disappear, and they would be better off. And I had this whole plan to do this. And thank God didn't follow through.
Oh, good.
But after a while, I'm like, I'm crazy.
I'm so
You truly
glad.
believe that?
Yes.
I'm so glad that, you're talking about this subject, because there was a time when Brooke Shields had talked about, and the media literally chewed her alive, right? Because it wasn't something that people even wanted you to talk about.
Absolutely.
And you've got this film coming out on December 15th.
Correct.
So tell us more about it.
Well, what happened was a friend of mine had given me a book, and it was Brooke Shields' book, Down Came the Rain. And at first I was like, I'm not reading this. I don't need this. But then I did. And that was the first time I went, oh my God, I have postpartum depression. So I finally had a name to what my experience was. And then I went to look for information, help on it. Couldn't really find anything. And as an actor, I thought, you know what, there needs to be a documentary about this. And so I had been interviewed for a documentary called Die Trying that Jamie Lynn Littman was directing. And it's about being an actor and all the struggles. I really liked her. And she just had it together, great director. And at the time, I'd just kind of come out of it at about 6.5 months. And I said to her, I have an idea for a documentary. And I think it's really important about postpartum depression. I want you to direct it. And she was like, I have a 4-month-old baby, but I didn't have it. And I think my disappointment really registered. And she said, I'll tell you what, I'll put it on a mommy blog. And if someone responds, I'll call you. And I thought, oh, okay. 24 hours later, she called me. She said, over 100 women said, I'll give my testimony. I think you're onto something.
That's wonderful.
And that's where it began.
How long did it take to produce?
It actually all in between conception, filming, and it took about 6 years.
That's not bad. That's wonderful.
Not bad. And it was myself, Jamie Lynn, and we had another amazing, the three of us co-created and produced it. Her name is Lindsay Gerst, and she really is the through line to the story. We follow her and everything she experiences throughout her journey. My testimony's in there, as well as it shows us as 3 women, 3 moms, creating this documentary. And the testimonies are incredible. We have celebrities such as Carney Wilson,
Amazing.
Artie
Carney's
Sakara
amazing.
from the Food Network,
Yes.
Peggy Tanos from the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields did narrate it and executive produce
that's
it,
amazing.
which was incredible. And it also just the women who are bold enough to come forward and talk about their stories.
Yeah.
We gotta celebrate them. We
You
gotta
do.
celebrate
You
you
do.
for bringing the story to life.
Absolutely.
This
Yeah.
is not something that people talk about
No.
because it's more like
I think people
So much
find it a
stigma.
the
weakness.
stigma. Yeah. The
Yeah.
fact that you're able to bring this to life. We've got to celebrate the journey it took. So where is this gonna be? Is it gonna be on Amazon? Where?
Yes. So we are releasing on December 15th. We will be on Amazon,
Fabulous.
iTunes, and
So,
Google Play.
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
And we're very, very excited to get the word out there because this actually affects 1 in 5 women.
Yeah.
And 1 in 10 men.
Wow.
And what most
Men?
Yes.
Wow.
My husband was one of them. So think about this. If you have a husband who loves you, adores you, and you suddenly are no longer how you've been or who he recognizes,
Yep.
men tend to want to fix.
Yes.
And if they can't fix you, they too can
Go
go into a depression
into-
because it's scary.
Yep.
When your
Wow.
wife who you've been with for a long time suddenly is not behaving like your wife, it's like
They feel helpless.
they feel helpless. And what most people don't know, because everything kind of gets put under the umbrella of postpartum depression, is that there are actually 9 levels of perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, and that is not talked about. And that's part of what my mission is to bring that to life and light, so we can open the conversation and normalize it.
How old is your daughter?
Well, she's now 16.
Oh,
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Bless her heart. That's
She's amazing.
That's amazing.
And-
And she knows your story.
She knows my story. She knows I'm writing about it. She knows I have a documentary. Does she know all of the details specifically? No. And that will be a conversation to be had. But what she does know and what I've shared with her is that she chose us and God chose us
Oh, I
to
love
do something
that.
about this. And I told her, I said, you are a gift. And it's because of you that I had to bring this to light. So that was meant to be. So there are no mistakes and there's nothing bad or wrong about it, because the truth is, if we save even one life,
Yes.
I've done my job.
Yeah. So, listening about this, I don't have kids, but how long did it take for you to finally understand that it's postpartum depression?
A great question, Eve. Thank you for asking that, because it can affect different people differently. Mine actually began when I was 4.5 months pregnant. Here I'm having a great pregnancy. Life is good. And one day I found myself on the kitchen floor sobbing hysterically, drool coming out of my mouth, snot out of my nose, staring at my floor, and I'm thinking, I don't think this is normal. And thank God I knew to go to therapy. So I have been going to therapy. Very interesting. I'm adopted, and the therapist said, I suspect when your mom was 4.5 months pregnant with you is when she knew she had to give you up. And it was like this. So who knows, like cellularly,
Yeah, wow.
generationally, ancestrally, like what can go through us.
Oh my God.
And so that was kind of like a, something's wrong. And then went through 7 out of 9 of the perinatal mood and anxiety disorders.
no.
And by the time I got to 5.5, 6 months, I was put on 5-HTP and rosehip oil, which acts like a natural Prozac. I want to say this, it's very important. I was very against antidepressants, medication. I was fearful it would harm my baby or harm my mind. In retrospect, I so wish I would have taken the medication, because you are not on it permanently. But the more you suffer, the longer you suffer, the more you are affecting yourself, your mental health, and your child and your family.
Yes.
Don't do
Wow.
that to yourself. You don't have to.
Right.
So I'm sorry, just because I know very little about this, does it ever go
Yes.
away or?
Yes, this is where I like to inspire hope. Just because you have it or you're experiencing it does not mean this is the rest of your life, which is what I thought. So with help, with time, you will be okay. But the most important thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is you have to talk about it. You have to reach out. You have to go beyond your fear and shame and guilt, because there's a lot of guilt associated with depression in general, right? So the worst thing you can do is to stay isolated and not talk about it, because what we don't know, we don't know. How can we help if we don't know?
Yeah. And that's the scary part, is the fact that a lot of women don't understand what's happening.
That's right.
It's to them, it's at the end of the world. You are just, you're already in your own head because you don't understand what's happening. You know, you're sad, you know, you're crying, you know, you're up and down, you're up and down, you're up and down. And some women I've heard, you know, too, they don't want their children anymore. They you know, want to get rid of their children. They don't want their and you and I both know too, there's been things that have happened that have not come out well.
Too many things.
Too many things. And why this is not talked about more.
Yeah.
You know, because this is a reality.
Yeah.
This is a reality.
It's actually very normal.
Yes.
And if you think about this, breast cancer, many, many years ago, nobody talked about
Yes.
it.
Yep.
And then eventually they opened the conversation.
Yeah.
They normalize. They have beautiful pink ribbons. Every October there's cancer walks.
Yes.
There's so much conversation that now with early detection, it's not a big deal.
Yes.
Right.
Same thing with this. There needs to be that normalization.
Yes.
There needs to be conversation.
Of course.
So that the second, Melissa, you look at me and you go, Tanya, oh, what's going on? You're not being yourself. I don't know. Great, let's go talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That a lot of these cases where there has been infanticide or suicide, it never needed to happen.
No,
Yes.
that's
It never needed
that's
to happen.
The
Yeah.
sad part is that
Exactly.
it didn't need
Devastating.
to happen.
Yeah.
And this needs, you know, and I think that as a woman, we wear so many different hats.
Yes.
As mothers, as wives, as friends, as, you know, coworkers,
Yeah.
whatever. And a lot of us don't want to admit we have a weakness.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, and this is also it's a great time of the year because it's the holidays and we're celebrating, but it's also a very difficult time for a lot of mothers, a lot of women.
is.
So what do you think? How could we support all of these women dealing with this postpartum?
Wonderful question, Eve. And I think the most important thing is if you have a friend, a sibling, a relative, someone who is had a baby recently or even in the last year, it's very common to say, how's the baby? How's everything going? Look the mother in the eye. How are you, Eve? How are you holding up? How can I support you? Ask, how can I support you? They may say, oh, no, I'm good. I'm fine.
That's
Bring her a
typical.
meal anyway.
Yep.
Offer to come over and sit on the couch and hold the baby so she can go take a shower. Check on her, especially here in the United States. We tend to be like, oh, if you had a baby, I'm going to let you adjust. Bye.
Yeah.
No, we are social creatures. It takes a village to raise children.
Oh, yes.
And where there are villages, those children are happy. The parents are happy because they're all cohesively working together.
Yes, I just came back from Fiji, and it's one of the things I was telling
Fiji.
Melissa. Like, I try to go there every year. What I liked about Fiji is when you get out of the resort and you go into the villages, you meet folks who are very poor, but they're very happy.
That's right.
Because of that communal living together. They don't care about wealth. And that's what we all need in the world is having that community where we can support one another.
I love that you brought that up because I think there is a big association that pleasure equals happiness. And it's actually the opposite. Pleasure is derived from dopamine. And a dopamine hit is where substance comes in, buying that new purse, having sex, all those things are dopamine hits. And it goes up, but then it goes down. Where happiness is more serotonin, it's community, it's giving, it's connecting.
Yes.
And the truth is, the more dopamine you have, the less happiness you have.
Wow.
So let that sink in.
Oh my, it's
Yeah,
so powerful.
so much
oh my
a
gosh.
good thing isn't always a good thing.
Right.
You know, so yes, I
It
totally
doesn't
understand.
make you happy. That
No.
Gucci purse might make you happy for
For
a
the
day,
moment.
a week, or a month.
Yeah.
And then you're on to the next.
Exactly.
You're so right, right?
So, with all that being said, though, what do you hope that the viewers of When the Bough Breaks is going to take away from it? What are you hoping for on that?
Thank you for asking that, Melissa. My biggest hope is that anyone who watches this will recognize that you actually play an important role, even though you're not the one having the baby, is that you have the opportunity to reach out, to share our documentary, have conversations, inform others, and by doing that, you actually may become the missing link to saving someone's
that's
life.
powerful.
Incredible.
That's powerful.
Yeah, so there are a lot of women out there in various communities with little or no support.
Yes.
Because, from a financial perspective, they can't go out and educate themselves. So this docufilm is so powerful. What would you recommend for anyone struggling and doesn't have that support system? Who should they turn to?
I'm so glad you brought this up because you're absolutely correct. People in very low income areas actually struggle the most
Yes.
because they don't have
The
The
resources.
network, yeah.
and the network or the financials to go out. You know, if you're a wealthy white woman, you can hire the
Yes.
night
No, you're
nurse and you
right.
can do all the
Yes.
things. Just, you know, no
Yeah.
offense to anyone.
But we forget
it-
those local communities.
that don't even have that as a possibility.
Yes.
Right.
So there are several things. You can reach out to Postpartum Support International.
Okay.
And there is a warm line and a texting line.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
that is available to anyone. And they are a nonprofit. They are funded by People Please. If you need to donate tax dollars, they're a wonderful organization to donate to. They have helped so many women and babies and families. They have men's support groups,
Wow.
women's support groups, and you can do it on Zoom. Now, let's say you don't even have a computer or you even have that option. Find someone in your community.
That's
Find someone you can
amazing.
talk to. Ask if you know there's new mothers, even if it's weird and uncomfortable. Say, can we get together? Can we
Yeah.
talk? Can we
Yeah.
hang out? Mommy groups are very powerful
Yes.
because once you recognize, oh, Eve, oh, your kid did that. My kid did that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean it's normal? You begin to recognize, okay, I'm not crazy. Everyone goes through this. This is
Yeah.
normal. And then you begin to decimate that stigma.
So how can we help share and have our listeners help share this incredible, because it needs to be brought forth
It
more.
does. I mean, honestly, sharing it, renting it, buying it. It's on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play. It's very accessible.
Okay.
Wow.
And, you know, also we would love to get like a big TV deal or really get it in Netflix or bigger places to get more audience awareness.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
anytime that you can speak about it, share it, it is completely honored and we are so grateful.
Oh,
So,
for
as
sure.
a coach, an entrepreneur, how do you incorporate your life experiences into helping others transform their lives?
Oh my gosh, I love your question so much because even at this point in my life, there's not a whole lot I haven't done. There's not a whole lot of mistakes I haven't made. So at this point in my life, I've pretty much done it all, lived it all. And I come from a traumatic background. I'm
Wow.
adopted. I had a father who was a severe alcoholic, a mother who was bipolar. Yet the best parents, love them. And all of that I recognize are all gifts so that if you're talking about your struggles, I can empathize with you. I actually get it. I see you.
Wow.
And so being an actress, I'm a good actor, but it's all look at me, I'm a good
Yes.
actor. Doing what I do now is about this is about you and how can I support you? And it is so
Incredible.
fulfilling. And when someone comes up to me with tears in their eyes and they say, you don't know how much I needed to hear that today.
Wow.
That to me that's what God has
That
called
is-
me here to
That
do.
is fantastic. Did you ever connect with your birth parents?
I did. I found her during COVID.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yes, my mom and dad never got married. They were in college in England. And I
Oh my
did find my
gosh.
mom, but here's how the British are. She's been married.
English.
Yeah, yes,
I
I'm
was
from
born
the UK.
in London.
Oh, girl, I was born in Manchester.
I've been to both places. I've been to both places.
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
But my mom and dad never got married, but my mom's been married 44 years and her husband doesn't know that she had a baby. That's how the British are.
Oh my goodness.
So she's never been able to really introduce me in. I don't take
Even
it
up till
personally.
today?
Even up till
With
today.
all your accolades and all this.
Wow.
But you know what? I will tell you this. I'm fine with it. She did what she was meant to do, which was to get me here. And my mom and dad, who unfortunately are no longer here, they were my mom and dad, and they raised me to be who I am.
Wonderful.
Again, everything happens for a reason.
It really does.
It really does.
Yeah.
Whether good, bad, or indifferent, it really does.
If you choose to look at it that way, if you choose to take from it, because we can choose to focus on what didn't work,
Yep.
Yes.
or we can choose to focus on
what did work.
what did. And the truth is, we can't stop our thoughts, and we sometimes
Yeah.
can't even stop our behavior.
Yeah.
But we can choose where we put our focus.
I
So
like
what did
that.
you decide?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Your life story is just incredible.
It is. I mean,
An
I could just talk
accomplished
forever.
actress. You're a jewelry designer. So how does designing jewelry connect with your passion for transformation?
Oh my gosh, I love these are great questions.
Eve is fabulous at this.
know
She
you
really
are
is.
fabulous.
No.
I'm loving this. I could sit and talk to you for days.
I mean, her life story is just like we can go
Right?
on.
You're so
Lunch
kind.
date. Lunch date. We're doing this.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay,
in. Let
we're
me know
Doing
it.
there.
Let's do it.
What did I go for? What did you take me for my birthday?
Oh my gosh.
The
Oh,
peninsula.
the peninsula, the tea room.
We'll do
anytime.
tea.
I
Yes.
love
High
tea.
tea.
High tea.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Let's do it.
I'm so
Let's
in.
do it.
Okay. No, I began designing jewelry because I was young and couldn't afford it. And I'd be like, I want that. So I literally began with glass beads,
Wow.
cheap stones. And then someone would be like, where'd you get that? Oh, I made it. Can I have one? And I'm like, sure.
Are those your pieces?
These are everything I'm wearing.
I
These are
love
all
it.
mine.
Wow.
And so over the years, it morphed from
that's
glass beads
beautiful.
and rocks to high-end fine jewelry. My jewelry's in
I
vogue
love
and in
that.
the UK right now.
Everything
Yeah.
you're wearing is fab. I
oh
would,
my
I would wear
gosh.
each one of those right now.
would.
I'm honored.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank
but
you.
not the ring. No, not your. No, that's
That's a wedding ring.
it's a wedding ring.
But I love it. And so where it comes into tie in with what I do though is for me it's meditation. When
I
I'm
love meditation.
stringing, I string all my own bracelets when I'm doing it. It's
Oh.
like peaceful to me. So it's very, and the stones, like let me be very clear. I do not worship crystals. It's nothing like that, but
Yes.
stones have energy. God created
yes.
stones.
We
there
have
you go.
this. Yeah, we have.
Yes.
It's a carnelian.
It does create, it's an energetic force from Mother Nature.
We are all about the energy.
It is, and I just actually am finishing the new packaging. I have a candle line called Sozo Heart, which is SOZO.
She's playing to
Thank
all
you.
my favorite
Oh
things.
my goodness.
Well, I created the candle and the diffuser because what can a new mother do? If you're burning a candle, you want it to be non-toxic. You want it to create a sense of grounding.
Yes.
Can't burn a candle at night, but let's do a diffuser
Right.
that helps you sleep.
That's even
So
better.
that's where I incorporated that, and then I put a crystal quartz in the candle because it's a very healing stone. I put black obsidian in the diffuser because it cuts negativity.
Yes, I wear
and
one.
then I have a scripture from the Bible.
Oh
on
my
each
goodness.
box.
Wow. You know what? I have to say, I am the most calm and zen I have been all day.
Thank you.
Just with-
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
serious. I'm like, there's just this calmness that just this
It's
whole
the camaraderie.
Conversation.
It's
Right?
Seriously,
yes.
When you connect
I
on this
feel-
level.
Yeah.
I feel at peace.
I
Right?
just adore
Wow.
you.
Like, oh my God. Like,
I can tell you're feeling it, Eve. I can tell you're feeling it. She's there. She's in the moment and she's feeling it.
it's amazing.
I'm
I
honored. Thank you.
No,
I feel
seriously,
the
I'm like-
same.
can't say too much. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm just like, no, this just moved me. And she knows me. and
do.
so she knows.
That's
like,
how I can
seriously.
tell. I can see it in her eyes right now. She's having a moment. She's really having a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is just amazing. You know, I'm just like, people should just go out and support this wonderful docufilm. Just the fact that you were able to share this journey
Yep.
with the world and so many mothers and fathers, a topic that not too many people even want to tackle
Yeah.
because of the stigma.
You're right.
And here you are bringing this to life, 6 years in the making.
Yes.
I can't wait to watch December 15th. It's
December 15th.
Sunday. What day is
Yes.
it?
Yeah, on
Yep,
Sunday.
it's a Sunday.
I do want to say, and thank you so much for everything you just said. If you are watching the documentary, I do want to give a trigger warning. It's very important that we actually lost a couple people who were in the documentary. And one was a very dear friend of mine.
I'm so sorry
So
to hear
it's
that.
very devastating from
So
that
sorry.
standpoint.
I
So
just
I
got
just,
chills.
yeah. And so it's very important that people know that. But as far as becoming informed and educated, we have such experts that speak on it. You will learn so much, and it will completely shift your perspective.
So I feel it's amazing that Brooke Shields came on the
Yes.
project
To executive
to
produce.
to executive
narr-
produce, to narrate.
Yes.
I mean, how was that for you?
She was absolutely lovely and amazing. We all flew to New York, and we all got to meet her, get a photo with her. She could not have been more lovely. For me, it was extremely personal because her book is what informed me of what I had, and she was just very kind, very gracious, and I'm so honored that she took the time to do it. And it was past where she had really tackled that. Like she even said, this isn't really the space I'm in anymore, but I really want to support you women and support this cause. And she did.
Because it's part of her legacy.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
So
it's
your
part of her
memoir is on the horizon. What can
Yes.
readers expect, and how does it complement the documentary?
So my memoir it's everything from the beginning that my husband says, I think I want a baby. And I'm like, what? I'm 40. What are you talking about? So it starts with my journey of getting pregnant, having my daughter into, oh my gosh, postpartum depression, and having a baby for me, because I'm adopted, was about, I will finally have the love I always craved by having a blood relative. And then going through this horrific time where I thought, oh my God, what did I do? Then it goes into the making of the documentary. And then it leads into recognizing the love I had always been looking for was present from conception with my daughter. So it's a very powerful, moving document. And there's a lot of things that happen and a lot of things that go wrong in it. And you will be taken on a ride for sure.
You should make this into a film.
I have actually been told that.
You
Thank
know,
you,
you really
Melissa. I just
should.
got goosebumps on
You
that.
really
too.
should,
you
because
should.
that would bring such
Oh
awareness.
my gosh, I'm getting total. That's usually the Holy Spirit. Wow. Thank you.
That's
Like,
how I
seriously.
felt. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
We're all getting chills in here, I'm telling you. But
because,
I, that's something that needs, like I said, I'm so passionate about that because it is something that needs to be talked about.
It is.
Especially when you are a mom and you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you're elated 1 minute and then all of a sudden it's like, what's happening?
I think the beauty of this as well is, you alluded to this earlier. You know, people think about you and they think, oh, she's a Hollywood actress. And you've had some critically acclaimed success.
Thank you.
But yet, and they see, oh, she's blonde, she's beautiful. One of the things we talk about this, that, you know, people see us and they think everything is perfect.
Oh no.
Everything is perfect.
Far
The
from
fact
it.
is, I am so glad
Yeah.
that you're bringing this into the universe.
Thank
You're
you,
talking
yes.
about it because it sheds the other side of
Yes.
the glam. Because people think about, oh, the glam, the red carpets. But here you are opening yourself. But not only that, this is going to help millions of people.
Oh, absolutely.
All over the world. So I
Absolutely.
think for
the
me,
goal.
that's what really, it's like, it's not just about the fame.
No.
It's not just about the glam, but you're sharing a part of you.
You're being vulnerable and showing.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Please,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
no.
I was gonna
You're,
say, I cut you off, but you know what? Another thing I really want to address, because I feel it's so dangerous. It's dangerous to our young generation and to all of us, is social media. Because you have an actress who has a baby, and 3 weeks later she's back into her outfit, and the baby's smiling. And you think, I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, it takes 9 months for your organs to go back to where they began.
I don't have kids, but I
But
can only
but you know what
imagine.
I'm talking
Yes.
about, though. And that's, you know, all of us tend to want to show our best picture, our best filter, our best smile, our best this. You don't see me when I'm at
10
home
seconds
with my
or 5
greasy hair,
seconds.
bawling my eyes out because
Yes.
I'm having a shit day.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not posting that.
Exactly.
I wish we would more. And even I see it in my daughter always trying to have this level of perfection. I'm like, baby, that does not exist.
No.
Yes.
No,
And
that
I'm
was the
sorry
thing.
for her for being 16.
Oh, God.
And this is the generation where it's all about social media.
It's awful.
And looking perfect. And
Oh yeah, the
The TikTok,
The
the
TikTok
duck
and
everything.
the snapshots.
Yes, everything.
all of it.
Yeah. So that is so wonderful that you're just being vulnerable. But it's going to help so many other people, because it's funny how someone was asking me, but I get to see you on the red carpet. I'm like, but you know what? You have to see me at home.
Thank
You've
you.
seen me at home.
Right?
Like,
We've seen each other at our worst,
like,
Steve.
you know,
we really have. We
but
really
then
have.
the next minute you go out and you act like everything is perfect.
That's
so,
right.
Face value. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all. We let them see what we want them to see.
Correct.
That's
So,
it. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this. What's 5 businesses that you have, or maybe more? How do you balance maintaining, you know, just this?
I will tell you this. It is not always easy, but I will say what I look at, and this is a great coaching tool too, is instead of looking at, oh my gosh, big picture, what do I need to do?
Yes.
What do I need to do right now? What do I need to accomplish today? Where do I need to be? And really break it down into, I'm a big list. I never used to want to keep a list because I thought, oh, then in my mind, I should just be able to remember. Yeah, I don't remember shit if I don't write it down.
Right?
So I have learned you make a list every day and you cross it off, and whatever doesn't make it there, you move to the next day. And, I love Tony Robbins says this.
Wow.
People think that they will overthink what they can accomplish in a year and underthink what they can accomplish in 10. So what we all have to remember is we are on a journey.
Yes.
It's not about the destination. And whether you get there today,
Or 10
January,
years
or 10
later.
years from now, just keep putting one foot in front of the
I
other.
like that.
See, we're full of chills today.
I like that.
Yes.
It's a
It
journey.
is a journey.
Yes.
And don't allow anyone to take that from you, which is easier said than done based on your background, your trauma, everything. But if you have a vision and a goal and a passion, then keep going
at
for it.
That's beautiful. So I'm going to go back to your film
Yes.
and also the postpartum. Your daughter is only 16. How do you think, because obviously I don't know much about this topic, but do you think this is something that she can experience as well? Because
Very possible, and excellent question, actually. So let's talk about some of the factors that can create or affect postpartum depression. So it can be everything from lack of sleep, lack of community, traumatic birth, hormones, lack of nutrition, and if there is pre-existing in your family line,
like you.
predisposition to depression in general. So these are all factors that
Triggers.
can trigger. I had a traumatic birth. I have horrible reactions to anesthesia. And I was in the recovery area for 6.5 hours, puking my guts out and shaking violently. And it was really tough. So I started with that. Even having a C-section, because you're disrupting the body. You're basically taking the body, cutting it open, pulling the baby out, and the body's going, wait, where's my baby?
Yeah.
Because we are meant to push it through the birth canal. Listen, not everyone can, and praise God that there
was
is
me.
such a thing.
That was me.
Okay?
Yep.
So no judgment there, but saying this can be
Yes.
a factor that can also trigger it. So because I suffered from it, I will keep a very close eye on my daughter when that time comes.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
so cool.
It's a family history. It's
Yeah.
things that can occur, and it's you can never call it.
You can never, and I thought, it's because I'm older, it's because I'm this. It's not based on race, socioeconomic status.
Right.
It's not based on anything other than you either have it or you don't. There's women in their 20s who suffer from it.
Yep.
There's women in their 40s who suffer from it. So there's no specific through line. And even you can have a child and have it, have a second child not have it, have a third child and have
Yeah.
it. So it's very unpredictable.
Very.
I'm gonna switch gears into something
Yes.
fun, just because it's
Okay.
it's the holiday
Yes.
season.
Yes.
So how do you spend the holidays? It's coming up.
Oh my gosh, it's coming up so fast. So
I
I have been
know.
very busy with jewelry, as you can imagine, which is wonderful and a blessing.
First of all, where can we get your jewelry?
Yes.
Oh, so my jewelry is under my married last name, which is Del Pozo Jewelry. So
Del
DEL and then POZZO. I have a website. You can follow me on Instagram. Reach out. I'm always honored.
Robert Rogers' wife Lynn basically said, I would love you to death."
Yes.
I have to give a shout
His
out.
wife is one of my best
I have
friends.
to give a shout out to Lynn because she
Lynn's
was
the
like, when I
best.
told her that I was gonna, we're gonna be coming on, she was like, "Oh, I would love you to."
Yeah.
That's what she said. So, yes. So Roger, please tell Lynn.
And
Roger,
he's
we can
like,
work a little
"Oh
something
my
out."
goodness, Christmas time, Roger."
Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
So-
But no, I've decorated early because we had family down at Thanksgiving. My mom loved Christmas, and because she's passed on, if you saw my house, it's beautiful. It's like a winter wonderland, like all of the beautiful trimmings and decorations, and I just love it so much. So we're actually going to do a low-key Christmas and just be home and enjoy each other. And I cook standing rib roast and Yorkshire pudding.
Ooh,
Being from the
Yorkshire
UK.
pudding.
Yes,
Yes.
Steve
Sounds
knows.
amazing.
Yes.
Love it.
So it'll be a lot of fun.
You're gonna be busy.
I have been
promoting
going
this.
nonstop. Well, that's been happening too. So it's all a blessing. So I'm just very grateful.
So what's up for you for? I know you're busy for 2025, which is just a few weeks away, right?
Yes, so
gosh.
2025, my the relaunch of my candle and diffuser brand is, and then my memoir is nearly done.
Ooh.
And then I'm also working on a TED Talk on exactly this subject.
Oh
Wonderful.
my goodness,
I love that.
amazing!
Are you
Wow.
going to have a signing for your book? Are you going to do
Absolutely.
anything like
My
that?
goal is to have it published by a large publishing house because I'm not doing the book to make. It's not about me making money. It's about I need it to get out there as much as possible.
Of course.
So that really is the goal. It's not about me. It is about getting it because someone's going to read that and go, "Oh my God, I resonate with this," just like I did with Brooks.
Yes. Oh my God, Roger's pointing his fingers. We're down to the 3-minute mark.
This went too quick.
Oh my gosh, we could have gone on and on and on. So if you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, I would absolutely have dinner with my mom, my dad. And actually, I just lost one of my best friends a couple weeks ago.
So
and her
sorry
name
to
was
hear.
Sherry Hall Smith, and she was incredible. And
May
I
she
was
rest in
supposed to see
peace.
her a few weeks ago, and she wasn't feeling well, and then she passed. So I would have loved to have had dinner with her.
May she rest in peace.
Amen.
Oh, Tanya, your story of resilience, courage, and deep compassion from your early days in Hollywood to all of your transformation, the work you've done as an advocate, as a coach, entrepreneur. You've shown us what it means to turn this into purpose. Thank you for sharing your journey. It's been amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. This has
Thank
been,
you, Melissa.
and let's
Thank
have
you.
tea
Yes,
next
let's do
year,
it.
right?
Please.
At the
Peninsula.
Peninsula. That would be amazing.
I would love that.
This has been Melissa.
Amazing.
What an amazing.
I could have kept talking. I wasn't
I
done yet.
mean-
I still had questions.
This was just fantastic.
Maybe we'll have a part 2.
Oh my goodness,
There we
we
go.
should. I really hope everyone goes out and watches this on Amazon or all the various streaming services, right?
Yes.
The name
It's going to get picked up. It's going to get picked
It
up.
has
It's gonna
to.
be-
This
it's
has
gonna
been
go so far.
amazing. Roger, thank you so much. When Roger said,
you,
"Oh, we should
Roger.
have Tanya," I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, Roger." And Lynn was like, I saw Lynn last week. She was like, "I would love you." And yes, Lynn was correct.
Lynn's
This
my girl.
amazing, Roger. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Thank you,
So good
everyone.
seeing you.
Happy holidays.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you watch this episode on the Discovery Pod with Eve's YouTube channel, or you could listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Again, Tanya, you are incredible.
Yes.
We've got to support your docu-film
Yes.
coming out December 15th
Mm-hmm.
on Amazon.
iTunes
iTunes,
and
Google Play. Okay.
for When the Bough Breaks, a documentary about postpartum depression.
Yep.
And-
Amazing.
oh yes, and our website is whenthebowbreaksfilm.com.
And
Yes.
Tanya, thank you again for being with us today and your
Thank you for
commitment
having me.
to creating change. This has been incredible.
has.
I mean,
So
what else
fun.
can I say? This is actually the last episode of 2024.
Oh,
It's been incredible. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Roger. Oh my God, all the hard work he's done.
Yes.
Jamie, you've been amazing. Roger, Melissa, I will see you later tonight.
Yes.
And we're going to have tea with Tanya.
Yes.
and
Tea with Tanya.
Yes.
Might
Tea
be a
with
new
Tanya.
talk
There
show.
we go.
Thanks,
There we go.
everybody.
Tea with Tanya. We're there.